I raised her for 21 years. Yesterday, she introduced me as her aunt to a man who died 2 decades ago. But the look in his eyes, he wasn't a ghost. He was a predator, and my daughter was his hunter. On today's episode of The Wander's Tales, we dive where quiet courage prevails. Hidden truths and hearts so bold. Stories of fear left untold. If this calls to you, don't delay, subscribe, tap the bell, and stay with us. Thank you. The air in the Eco Hotel ballroom was thick with the scent of expensive oud and the humidity of a Lagos night, a cloying mixture that usually signaled success for Nneka. She smoothed the silk of her emerald gown, her eyes tracking her daughter, Amara, across the room. Amara was the sun, radiant, 21, and possessed of a grace that felt almost otherworldly. For 2 decades, Nneka had been her anchor, the woman who had wiped every tear and funded every dream. But as a tall, silver-haired man approached Amara, the air in Nneka's lungs seemed to crystallize into shards of glass. She watched them speak, saw the way Amara leaned in, a gesture of intimacy usually reserved for her mother. When Nneka finally glided over, ready to reclaim her place, the world didn't just tilt, it inverted. Amara turned, her smile practiced and bright, and placed a hand on the man's arm. "Julian, I don't believe you've met her properly," Amara said, her voice like a cool stream over jagged rocks. "This is Nneka, my aunt. She's been so kind to look after me all these years." The word aunt struck Nneka with the force of a physical blow, leaving a ringing in her ears that drowned out the jazz band's upbeat tempo. The man, Julian, didn't flinch. He looked at Nneka with eyes that had haunted her dreams since 2005, eyes she had been told were closed forever beneath the red earth of an Enugu cemetery. His gaze wasn't one of a stranger, but of a conqueror returning to a city he had already razed. He took Nneka's cold hand, his grip firm, his skin warm in a way a dead man's should never be. "Aunt Nneka," he repeated, the name sounding like a slur in his mouth. "Amara has told me so much about your hospitality." Nneka felt the sweat prickling at her hairline, the expensive makeup suddenly feeling like a mask that was melting off. She wanted to scream, to grab Amara by the shoulders, and demand to know why the word mother had been stripped from her identity in a single breath. But she was a woman of the Lagos elite, and in this world, public displays of trauma were the ultimate sin. She forced a smile that didn't reach her eyes, watching as her daughter, the girl she had birthed from her heart, if not her womb, walked away with a man who was supposed to be a memory, leaving